welcome back to my channel. My name is Vuvu. If you are new on here, please consider pressing that red subscribe button down below and joining the family. If you're an oldie, a member of the fam bam, welcome back fam, and thank you for joining me once again.
Take me to heaven when it feels right. That's that ascension. Never go back to when we
I wasn't well at all yesterday, so woke up feeling much better today, and today was my last day of work because I'm on leave until mid-November. Thank you, I deserve it. All I want to do is read, sleep, and do as little as possible about anything else. Anyway, I'm here now. It's Thursday after work, start of my leave, and I want to do a few things. And the first thing on my agenda after those few things, is a nap. Okay, it is definitely going to be a nap. I don't even know where to place you guys. Something's just not doing what I needed to do. Anyway, I thought to pick up my camera because I stopped at Mr. Price today. I've already opened this one. I actually got this to-do notepad thing that I need for my desk downstairs. I got it for 9 rand, well 10 rand. It was 9.99. 10 rand. Says don't quit / do it. Okay, and I love it. It's got the notes section, which I often need when I'm sitting at my desk. Obviously it's got your to-do list, which is always needed, and then it's got stuff that you've carried over to the next day. So that's going downstairs. I've already started opening this, but I hadn't put it together yet. It's got this acrylic to-do list. This is for my desk upstairs. That's what it looks like. Nothing like it's, as it says, it's acrylic. I was just peeling off the, let me do that quickly so that I can show you guys the plastic. So let me do that quickly, assemble it, and then show you guys what it looks like. Okay. Ooh. Guys, when I say it's hot, I mean it's very hot. Okay. Okay. Oh. And that's okay because there's not enough space on this desk for all of this mission, but let's do it. If I face the camera down, don't worry, I have thought about it, but the dress I'm wearing is so short that all I'll be doing is just showing you guys my thighs. Okay, and I don't want to do that, so I guess I shall show you my face instead. Hey, I need to do a fresh set of nails. I want to do them tomorrow, but as it will be the first official day of leave, I might just rest. So it will be this weekend though, at some point. Okay, Lando, it doesn't want to. Guys, I'm even sweating. Hey, how is Shisa? Yeah, Shisa. This week I will not be sharing a, okay, my patience levels at this point are not the highest, I'm afraid, so let you know. Hi, Controni. Yes, that's what it's meant to do. So yes, I'm definitely going to sort it out another time, guys, when I'm not feeling like this. I just want to show you guys what it's supposed to look like. I have no idea what this is, child. I don't know what it's meant to do, but this here thing is meant to sit like this. Okay, there's still like plastic on the acrylic down here, so it's meant to sit like this. And then they did include this white pen, which I hope I can find somewhere else. Let me just say, just to check it out. Oh, cute, man. So that's what it writes like. It's erasable. Doesn't include an eraser though. So, and it stands perfectly fine with me So I'm not sure what this is because there's only one of it, so but I'm just gonna include it here because I think it's meant to be there, but I think there was meant to be two of them. Two of them would make more sense, but that's fine. I've just put it here. I don't know if you can see, this side doesn't have it, this side has it, and I'm just gonna put it at the back of my, oh wait, such drama, in front of my laptop at the back of my desk. I think it works out very well. That was my wax burner showing me flames. I've just got to relocate you, and it worked out very well. So let me just get down to what I need to do. I'm going to definitely take off this picture, and I'll catch you a little bit later to update you on the reading so far this week. But we're not doing a TBR this week because it's just not working out, child. It's just not the time. It's Thursday. We cannot be doing that at all. Okay, chat to you guys in a short while.
Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today in this video, we are gonna go to a birthday party. Not her though. It's just a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit this notification before more videos. Let's get
Because you're speaking too fast, they can't hear you. Okay, so it's Saturday. Where are you guys going? Where are you going, Bukanya?
to my friend's birthday.
And Iana and what, you and I, where are we going?
I don't know.
I also don't know, but we're gonna have fun.
I have a feeling that it's for.
You don't know what we're gonna do. You are going to the party. We are doing our own thing. Bye.
Bye. Siblings, 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 siblings.
Hey. Woo. Gosh, it is hot. They're not gonna see you, Nje. Hi guys, so it is Saturday. As the kids said, we're out of the house, we're doing something outside, and Iana and I are gonna have a mommy daughter day while Bukanye is going to be at a party. Hey.
Not like I've never been to a party before.
Whatever. So I'll bring my phone. I won't be bringing the camera so that you can see what me and Iana get up to. Today is Tuesday. We are very early in November. It has been so hot in Joburg. Like, as soon as I'm done with this video, I am definitely going to get this wig off my head. Okay, that's the first thing. I'll probably get it out of the stress as well. It's hot. It's hot. Yeah, I will show. Don't wanna lie. Anyway, a girl's on leave. I'm a little bit mellow for some reason. I was just snapping at my kids because, yo guys, I don't know at which stage do kids actually listen. And guys, excuse my bed, I was napping earlier because I'm on leave and I'm exhausted. I did a bit of cleaning, laundry, and then I took a nap before I had to go fetch the kids from school. Anyway, the purpose of today really is me just telling you what I read last week, because I didn't get a chance to. Did I get a chance to tell? I might not tell you what I read last week because our Wi-Fi is not working today, and I certainly need my story graph to tell you that. So I won't tell you what I read last week, but I will tell you what I managed to finish so far this month. So it includes the weekend that just passed and up till today, and then I'll tell you what I plan to read this week. Makes sense, right? I hope it does. I really hope it does. Cheers. To mellow me down even further. Anyway, so I read and finished The Blue House by Dudu Musani Dube. Okay, this one at the moment is on Kindle Unlimited, so I did see on her Instagram that she does have hard copies. I don't know when they hit in the stores, but it is a story worth reading. So I did pick this one up because I wanted to get myself into like a little bit of a spooky vibe, okay? And I saw like just the title and a little bit of the synopsis recently, and I was like, okay, let me just get myself the spookiness that I want. So in this one we follow Charlotte, right? Oh, this is a complicated story, and I see it's part of a series, so it's book 1, so I do think it deserves more books because it is a bit complicated. But anyway, Charlotte had a sister, right, Gertrude, who she didn't understand. It seemed like Gertrude was always out to get her, wanting to kill her while she was younger, just terrorizing her basically, right? And it seemed like Gertrude was suffering a lot of mental health issues. However, initially it looks like it's just she's just mad. So their grandmother raised them in a house with high fences, like no one could see inside the house, it's just to protect herself from the community as well as the children that she is raising. The story that was spent to both Gertrude and Charlotte is that their mother died very early on in their life, and that was that on that, okay? So the kids could not remember their mother, and that was that on that. So we hear the story obviously through Charlotte's lens, and very soon after she starts work, her grandmother passes away. But on the day that she passes away, she hands her a key and basically requests her to visit a house in De Beer. The house is called, it's a farm house, and the farm is called De Deer, just outside of I wanted to say South Africa, just outside of Johannesburg, right? So she puts her job on hold, she goes off, and she does this final wish for the woman that she's loved all her life. When she gets there, she starts seeing the ghost of a young child, and this child just doesn't understand why Charlotte does not know who Charlotte is, never mind who the child is. The town's people, or the small town's people, start behaving weirdly towards Charlotte when they realize that she has actually come to the blue house. And while they were friendly to start with, thinking that she was just a common tourist, they realized that actually she's here for business, and it's business that they want nothing to do with, and they start treating her strangely. There's a town crazy man who every time he sees Charlotte, he starts shouting zombie zombie in Zulu, well, in Nguni language, Zulu slash Xhosa is, I saw that word and I knew exactly what it meant because it is there in the Xhosa language, but I do presume that it's there in most Nguni languages. The word, in case you're wondering, is tunzela. So every time this crazy guy of this town known as Jumanji sees Charlotte, he's just spitting this word and he just can't take it. What Dudu then does is that she takes us back to a time where Charlotte actually lived in that house, and the horrible, atrocious things that happened in that house that resulted in Gertrude being who she is and Charlotte being who she is, and that also resulted in Charlotte's survival, I suppose, mechanisms shutting those memories off. And the things that we find out, I don't want to lie to you, are absolutely horrific. This is why I always say that I think Dudu's mind really fascinates me, because I don't understand how your mind can go that far in terms of stories that revolve around children, but she does it so well. I almost want to say, as horrific as it is a little bit gentle. It just talks so much about grief, trauma, loss, and just I think for me the sad thing is I do believe a story like that could happen in South Africa. I've seen in the news, there was a few years ago where I think it was Australia, if I'm not mistaken, where something similar happened, where kids were abducted, kept for a while, and things happened to them until they were discovered. So this is kind of like a similar story. However, I do think that she puts a very genuine, very authentic spin to it, coming from a South African point of view. And I suppose a lot of it has to do with femicide, the crimes against children specifically, but especially female children, as well as just how far the monsters that we live with. I always tell you guys that we live among monsters. This is the one thing that I will always keep repeating. We live among monsters. So the monsters that live within our societies, how far they will go in order to make sure that their warped needs, let me put it that way, are satiated. And I think she does such a good job in telling these stories. I don't think that the story could have been told from anyone else's perspective except for Charlotte's. I love Charlotte as a main female character, and Dudu has a history of creating strong black female leads, and I think she's done this once again. I love her hunger for justice and how she defines justice according to her own terms. I love her compassion. She's a bit hard-headed, don't get me wrong, she's not always right, but I absolutely love what it is that drives her from within. Absolutely loved this book, enjoyed it a lot. I ended up giving it a 4.5 stars. If you have not yet picked it up, if you've got Kindle Unlimited, I'd suggest you do. If you do not have Kindle Unlimited, please do look out for the book in stores. And like I'm saying, it is book 1 in a series, so I look forward to seeing what she will do further with this. I have not told you most of what's going on. I have not mentioned most of the characters that are involved on here, and like I said at the start, it is a very complicated story, but it is a story that holds the themes that I've mentioned, and it is a story that is well told. I like, if anything, like I always say to people, if you're gonna judge Dudu, you can judge Dudu, but you can never ever come back and say she is not a brilliant storyteller. That story is told so well. Enjoyed it. 4.5 out of 5. And then the other book that I recently finished is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. This one I got in my big box from the Bloomsbury Big Night in Tongue Twisters. It is book 1 of a series. It looks like the series has 4 books so far in total, and definitely I'm looking forward to picking up the rest of them. Yes, I'm looking for, okay, well, it looks like it's 7 books, okay, but the first, well, one of the 7 books is at the end of this one. I did not read it. I do not want to tell a lie, my darlings. The last book is called, well, the book that I'm talking about is called The Pale Dreamer, and unless of course it's this short, I might pick it up, I don't know, but it's called The Pale Dreamer, and it's at the very end of this book. It's actually Charity who pointed that out to me, because she said when she picked up The Bone Season, it had a little bit of confusion for her, and when I did pick it up, I did keep replaying the first chapter because I felt like I was missing something. And she says that it is definitely best read after reading The Pale Dreamer, but I was in my audiobook phase at that point, and I could not grab myself an audiobook of The Pale Dreamer, so I just pushed on. And if you do push on, if you do not have an audio or you do not have a copy, that, sorry, my page is I almost said bent, just need to fix it quickly. So if you do not have a copy of The Pale Dreamer, you can certainly still read the book. It will start making sense as you go along. So in this one we follow, what's her name? Paige. Paige is a, it's such a complicated story to relay. That's why I'm pausing, right? Okay, So Paige has the ability to look into people's dreams to get a sense of who they are and what it is that they are aspiring to. Obviously your dreams are your subconscious, and they tell a lot more than your calculated conscious existence, right? So we enter the story and realize that Paige is in a city where her kind of gifts and people with gifts like hers are not really appreciated. So she has lied to her dad, hidden her gifts, and joined what you would call maybe a rebellious group under the leadership of some guy whose name starts with a teacher. Okay. So she joins their little rebel group, and it is made up of other people called clairvoyants who happen to have certain gifts, right? The gifts are not necessarily the same. So one day Paige is on the bus and clairvoyants are being hunted basically in the city. Come in quickly, baby, mommy's recording. No baby, it's still frozen, so I put it out. It's gonna defrost and then you can have it. Okay. So she's a dream walker, that's what they're called. So she's on a train, and there's a raid on the train this one specific day where the authorities, or rather like, let's call them the police of this world, are looking for clairvoyants, and they end up seeing that she is one, and somehow her power gets out of control and she ends up killing one of these authorities, and she gets scared and calls, what's his name? I want to say his name starts with a T, and you know what, child, I've been wrong before, so let's call him her boss. She calls her boss to let him know that, listen, stuff went down and I don't know where to hide, right? As she's trying to figure this out, she gets abducted by creatures from another world, creatures that look human, creatures from another world, and in that world it looks like they are hunting down clairvoyants as well for different reasons. The queen of that world is looking to harness and steal basically their magic for herself, and they have never had a dream walker in their midst. And when she gets to that world, Paige is only known as a number. She gets a master who's meant to groom her and make sure that she passes certain levels in order for her to to be welcome and live in this world and be pleasing to this queen. The master happens to be the queen's concubine and intended, but he automatically takes a liking to Paige, a liking that is kind of like very contradictory, because he still has to follow the laws of this land, and Paige is still just what she is, a number in the system. However, we learn a lot about her master and the creatures like him and what it is that they truly are, which is not voyant, but it seems, I mean, not clairvoyant, but it seems like it's something that is a step further than that. And all of them, while they have the gift of being very aligned to the ether, her and her mates that are on there as her peers, being aligned to the ether, it seems like the other people, whom I don't know what they call the I forgot, have greater powers than them, which is why they are subjugating them to their power and kind of being the rulers of this society. Anyway, Paige, being who she is, sees this as an injustice and puts it upon herself to free her people from this place and defy this queen slash ruler. And what then transpires obviously is a plotting, it is an understanding of both these worlds. It's a journey on how to merge these two worlds and how to let, I think the other guy is Jackson, I think that's the name that just landed in my head, anyway, to let them see where it is that clairvoyants are taken to and why there is an injustice on both ends, and who is the worst dog of them all, right? Better the dog you know than the dog you don't. Is it true? Is it not true? We don't know. And I absolutely love the messaging in this one. It is a very political messaging, and it is also a very personal messaging, in the sense that your power is your power, your magic is your magic. I think this is the other thing that I love absolutely about fantasies, sci-fis, and whatever it is, because there's always something that is beyond human about their main characters. And always I feel like the message that lands with me is that what is yours is yours. No one has the right to diminish it, to steal it, or to abuse it, or even to kind of warp it, to make it something that it is not, for their own satisfaction. Also, I suppose what these kind of books try and tell you is that there will always be somebody who feels like they can rule you, they can have power over you, that they are a step ahead of you, and in them doing that, they have to make sure that they brainwash you into a situation where you feel less than, in order for you to be of service to them. And in most of the fantasies that I've read, the underdog always wins, and I absolutely love that messaging, because it also brings back your power as the reader to understand that, cha, you got it, and you've got people in your corner, and what's wrong is wrong and what's right is right, and that's just that about that. Absolutely loved this one. I think I gave it a 4.5 as well. And so those are the 2 books that I finished so far this month. I didn't tell you the date, I think, but it's very early in whatchamacallit, November. Guys, it's so hot, hey? You can probably even hear how I'm speaking. I'm like, oh, kill me now, like, why not? Like, take me now. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the books that I currently have open. Over the weekend, I started reading the 2nd book in the Eisenberg Effect. You know, I saw a new Kindle is out, guys. That Kindle that's out currently, that just came out like this month, has color, but besides that, it's just so cute, man. I absolutely love what it looks like. Yeah. And I always complain that my Kindle is very slow. I did get a refurbished Kindle. I'm sure you guys saw my video of me unboxing it when I did. If you didn't, it's up here. I'll put it up here for you guys. Absolutely love this little gadget, right? But I really struggle with how slow it responds to my very basic requests. Like, I'm trying to open this book now, and I was trying to go to the cover page for you guys, but it's doing its own thing. So I'll just show you what else I managed to pick up. This is not where I am. I have no idea actually why it put that there, because mainly I am listening to this via audio. I am reading The Eternal Ones by Namina Fauna, which is book 3 in the Gilded Ones series. And this one I got from Penguin, I want to say Penguin Random House, okay, child? Yes, South Africa, for review purposes. I am currently pretty much on page, no, not page, like in the 20s in terms of chapters, and that looks like it could be somewhere in the halfway mark of the book. In this one, we follow Dega. And she has just discovered a few things about life, okay? In the last book, she found out that the people, or the deities that she had looked up to, were not who they said they were. They lied to her, lied about her purpose, lied about who she was, lied about what it was she was meant to accomplish in the world, and she broke herself free from them. And currently, it looks like unless something happens in her life, she is going to die. However, the understanding at this point is that when she does die, she too will become a god. However, she wants to attain a particular thing that will make her destroy the current gods. However, as she's going on this journey of trying to attain this thing that she has lost and wants back, so that she can just demolish the world that currently is, she discovers a lot about herself, and she discovers how her demise might come to be. That's where I am in the story. And yeah, she's basically righting the wrongs that she had no business being put into, if you hear what I mean. I don't know if this thing will open, child. Anyway, I might tell you a bit about the book nonetheless. I read one chapter for my kids from this book. I showed it to you guys, I suppose, during my TBR for the previous month. This is The Legend of Mamlambo by Charles Sibote, illustrated by Janika Cronier. And like I'm saying, I'm trying to read this one to my kids, but I might read it for myself as well, because they've got books of their own that they actually do read. So sometimes me trying to force feed them a book is not a good idea, but this one is definitely going onto their shelf. I should actually share like a little shelf tour of their shelf with you guys. I absolutely love the books that are there. So this is the one that I plan to pick up at some point during this week. I did start this one. I don't know what page I am. I had my helper come through last week, and the bookmark, I think, while she was cleaning, fell off. But I'm not too far into The Harvard Wife by Barbara Boswell, and as such I don't have too much to tell you guys about it, but it is another book that I plan to pick up this week. So basically the books that I want to pick up this week, there is 4, including the one that won't open now on my it's these 3, and the one that won't open now on my Kindle. And I'm thinking it's because of the Wi-Fi story. Let me just give me 2 seconds. It really sucks because this was the book that I wanted to read, but I'll show it to you via my phone on my Kindle app. And this is Lyric by Gray Huffington, which is book 2 in the Eisenberg Effect series. I'll probably read it off my phone, but I'll probably just stick to the Eternal Ones. In this one we follow Lucas' little sister Lyric. Lyric had a traumatic experience in love which had landed Luca in jail, and as such for about 10 or so years she has just laid off men, right? She has not wanted to be with anyone, or has been scared to be with anyone seriously, and as such she has not opened herself up to love. However, there has been a crush that has been an ongoing situation in her life for the longest time, and her crush happens to be the best friend to both her brothers Luca and Laike. And she has been scared to pursue this or express her love for this man because of how close he is to the family, including her parents, right? But this man lands up in jail for a crime he doesn't commit for about 6 months. I'm gonna put this down now. For about 6 months, and halfway through his term in jail she decides, I'm gonna tell him how I feel. She tells him how she feels, and that nigga blue takes her, okay, leaves her on red, darling chat. She sits, she's frustrated, she basically had to build up the courage to send this nigga an email while he's in jail to tell him how she's just so mad about him, crazy about him, and he leaves her on red. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, this is the thing, but this is not about me, but I don't get men. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, this nigga is hanging on to her every word, right? For the last 3 months of his incarceration, he comes out thinking, oh, I'm coming home to the love of my life. But Lyric don't moved on, chummy. She don't moved on because when in 3 months she could not even send a single word. What did you expect? What did you expect? That is my question. Keanu is his name. I don't know what he was expecting, but all the other women in his life who are not Lyric also tell him that dumb ass move. What were you thinking? How do you blue tick somebody's vulnerability in that sense. So anyway, he, on his first night out, he's hit by a big shock when he sees that Lyric is in a relationship, or rather is dating and looking to be in a relationship with the man that he's dating, and the man that she's dating is nothing like him. Oh, he gets mad. He gets mad, okay? And he turns up to her house unannounced. Obviously, Gray Huffington, if I can tell you anything about Gray Huffington's urban romance, is that you're gonna get the spice. You gonna get the spice. Maybe more spice than you signed up for, but you gonna get the spice. And you know, things transpire, but there's a little quirk that he has during the spicy moments that I'm like, it could never be me. I'm sorry. Like, I love Ken, don't get me wrong. I think Ken is brilliant. Is he a Luca? No, he's definitely not Luca, but I see how he's suited for Lyric, right? But there's something he does that I'm like, if you've read the book, I think you know what I'm talking about. I'm like, yeah. Also, it also tells me just how nasty we are as human beings. Why are we so nasty? How is that okay? It could never be me, but it is Lyric. She loves it. She loves it to the moon and back, to the stars and back. So that's her main, so she's allowed to love what her main does. But personally, I'm like, don't come at me with that. No. Anyway, he manages to win her over. However, Lyric is not yet convinced that the rest of the world should know, and that's where I am on now. I'm 64% into the book, and I suppose I'm about to, he's given her an ultimatum to say that she's got 1 month to figure herself out, and if she doesn't figure herself out, then clearly this is not what this is. It's not meant to be, is it? What I will tell you about Ken is that Ken is a man. Ken is a dominant man. Ken knows what he wants. He's not here trying to play no games, and he's putting it straight out like it is, and he knows who he's signing up for. So I love that for them, because they've known each other since childhood, so he knows who she is. He knows her manipulation, or some of her manipulation tricks, and he knows where to draw the line, otherwise he's in trouble, right? So I'm at the point where this is the ultimatum that they've received, but I feel I'm actually very convinced these two are gonna get caught before Lyric is ready, and I don't think anybody's going to be as bothered as they think they will. I really don't. But we shall see. We shall see. That's where I'm at, and those are the books that I'm planning to read for the rest of the week. I'm not in my best space, but I absolutely love, I think when I took leave for this period, I didn't realize that it is this period, but I was saying on my WhatsApp a day or two ago that, you know what, the soul and the body, they always remember. You might be going through life having forgotten like your worst pain, or feeling like it's dormant and it's something that you can live with or survive, or whatever the case might be. Like, you feel like probably you've survived it, but your body and your soul always know. So I've been in the worst state in terms of emotionally, physically, and I haven't been able to pin it down, because I'm no longer in Japan. I'm not in Japan anymore, so I don't know. I could not pinpoint what it was until I realized that today's Tuesday, tomorrow marks 7 years since I lost my mom. And you know what, that thing, for me, it still feels like it was a day ago. I don't know how to explain it to you guys. Like, when I realized that it's been 7 years, I'm like, grief is unending, and there is no world that you would ever, I feel myself getting emotional, so I'm gonna, right, but there is no world that you will ever make sense of without your mother. That's just the one thing that I will tell you guys. I'm privileged and I'm grateful to have never lost a father, so I can't speak to that as yet, but I'm telling you this because as a mother I understand what motherhood entails, and there is no world that will ever make sense without your mother. And by that I say that to say it should never make sense. You should never be without the vessel that brought you into this world. And by that I'm not saying that people don't pass on or that death is not natural. What I'm trying to say is that I think a part of my grieving journey has been accepting that I'm always with my mother. And I think that in my lowest and most emotional times, she does definitely visit me, especially in my dreams. And I know a lot of people think that you should interpret every dream, but I feel like the dreams where she has visited me, even if I don't remember what happened in the dream, have been a sense of, it's been a balm for me, if you get what I'm trying to say. And I know that the times where I do see her in my dreams are times where I'm really missing her in a deeper level. I was also saying on that WhatsApp that the thing with grief is that it doesn't get better, it doesn't go away, but we learn to bulldoze ourselves. Those of us who have experienced great loss, we learn to bulldoze ourselves through life and call it living. And for me, I feel like that is my most honest opinion of the journey that I've been in while grieving. I feel like I have looked at the circumstance and I've realized that I have to force myself through life, and therefore whether or not the grief is staring me in the face as an obstacle, as a, how do I call it, like as a barrier that I can't see past, I have to push myself through it, because otherwise I will not be able to live. So I push myself, I bulldoze myself through it, whether it's through the things I love, reading, my kids and my friends, my family, etc. And I call that life, because I don't know what else to do in order to survive a world without my mom. That's just that about that. But like I'm saying, I am caught off guard for most of this week and the weekend with just my mental state, my emotional state, and I'm still bulldozing my way through it, don't get me wrong. But I do feel like because I do have this downtime and I don't have to count work in my list of responsibilities, that I am being a little bit kinder to myself, allowing myself to just be, right? And being, sometimes people think that when you're sad you have to be in this dark place crying, etc. I think this time around my sorrow or my grief is just presenting itself in a very mellow, broken, obviously because I'm a child without their mother, so broken, but it's not hysterical. I don't know how to explain it, right? I feel the hurt of being without my mom, but I don't feel the, I suppose the helplessness has been what I felt previously in the past. And I think that's probably what has caused hysteria, right? When I speak to a lot of my close friends, especially friends that knew my mom, I'm like, I cannot believe that she's missing out on this chapter in my life, that she's missing out on this chapter in her grandkids' life. And don't get me wrong, my mom would have been a brilliant, she would have loved these kids endlessly. And sometimes that's part of what I grieve. I grieve that for her and I grieve that for them. And oh, there goes the voice breaking, but it really does make me sad. Yeah, it really does make me sad, because my kids don't have a reference of what a biological grandmother is, and I know without a doubt that woman would have loved them up and down. And it hurts for me because I want that for them, but I suppose life is what it is, right? It is what it is. However, I have excellent aunts. Like my one aunt, whom they call their granny, has definitely stepped up to that mental, and they have an understanding of what a grandmother should be because she's there, and I absolutely cannot express just how grateful I am for that. But anyway, this is not how this Tuesday update was meant to go. I just wanted you guys to know that if tomorrow I come on here and my spirits seem low, I'm just going through a moment, okay? And that's that about that. Let me try and read. Does this thing not decide to show you guys now? Now's the time. Really, literally. I just want to check. No, it's showing you, but it hasn't opened. I'm just going to restart this little gadget over here because I would rather read from my Kindle than my phone. However, if it doesn't want, then I'll just read from my phone. I think I will definitely be catching you guys tomorrow. Just restart you, lovey. I'll definitely be catching you guys tomorrow because clearly I'm not as okay as I thought I was. Okay, sure. Hi fam, happy Monday. I don't know why I'm speaking like that. Happy Monday. It's quite late in the afternoon on Monday, and today's my second last day of leave. Last week, I do apologize. I think I am definitely learning to be okay with not vlogging when I'm not okay. So I think last week it took me by surprise. Like I was saying, I really didn't realize that I'd taken time off work during this period in my life, and I thought, okay, since I've got so much downtime, I'll do a lot of things that I would like to do, that I wanted to do, which I thought would include going to the gym, reading, doing some spring cleaning. Like I had so many things in mind, child. So many things, so many dreams, and all my system wanted to do after my little young breakdown on here was just sleep. Like my body ached for no apparent reason. I was fatigued for no apparent reason because I wasn't doing much, and my sister got her helper to come through to help me out in the house, so it's not like I was doing any spring cleaning either, you know. But I always say the body always remembers, and so does the soul, I suppose. We might forget the days as the years go by, but definitely I do believe that your system does remember those kind of traumas. Anyway, I think I'm okay this week, except for the fact that tomorrow is my last day of leave, chat. But I think I'm okay this week, and I do want to catch you guys up on what's been happening. They're meant to be doing homework, these two. So I'm just gonna go pour myself a drink, sit down, and catch you guys up on some books I've read, some stuff I've watched on TV, that kind of jazz, and get back into some reading. The past few days in Joburg have been very cozy. Like it's the kind of weather that just makes you want to either take a nap or do some reading, okay? And that's exactly what I've been doing. I truly do not feel rested. I have no idea why, because I have been resting. To be quite honest, during this leave I did nothing but rest, but I do feel and my body feels just tired. And I hate the fact that that's happening just before I go back to work, because the only time I'm going to be able to take time off again is in January. I'm working throughout the holidays, so pray for me. Oh, I need a prayer, chat. Need a prayer. Okay, let me just get my books together, and I think I'll just let you guys actually in on what it is I plan to read this week, and then the rest of the books that I managed to read, I suppose I'm just gonna have to let go of, including series stuff, because as I'm thinking I might not have the appropriate energy to delve into all of those things that made me feel some type of way, okay? Because I watched the latest season of Love is Blind. I was in my feels, okay? I watched the Senzo Meiwa case situation on what's this thing, Showmax. Was it on Showmax, or was it, I do want to say Netflix, on Netflix for the first time, because when it happened I was like, girl, I'm not ready. So because I had some downtime and I don't want to watch a movie or whatever, I decided, okay, let me try that. I had my thoughts. I also watched Sweet Somebody, that con that happened with the girl who fell in love with this man. This is a true, obviously, documentary, true. I don't know if I should call it a crime when you are catfished, but maybe it is. I don't know. Well, I watched that. The name is just at the tip of my tongue. Sweet Somebody. I watched that one. I had a lot of thoughts on that. I didn't watch too much TV, but those are definitely the three that I remember having watched during my time off. And in terms of books, I finished The Eternal Ones, and there is a book I finished, or I finished Lyric as well on my Kindle. So that's just giving you a gist of the things I watched and what I finished reading. I will not be delving any deeper into that. Let me go pour this drink so that I can show you my ambitious pal for the week, and you guys can wish me luck. Wish me luck. Anyway, see you just now, guys. Okay, so I'm back and we had mail. Oh guys, trust my camera to come on and then suddenly people at my door. What is it? Did you finish your homework? Did you clean your room? Thank you. You know the order. Okay, back to what we were saying. So I'm back and we got some mail. Oh, chummy. We always have to do the right thing. So okay, the people over at Pan Macmillan sent me this package, which forms part of my TBR for this week, so I had to share it with you guys because I hadn't shared it with you guys yet. And it's January's by Olivia Blake. I'm so excited for this one, guys. I absolutely love Olivia Blake. I did post a picture of this on my Instagram, and what I said on there is totally how I feel about her. I love authors that make me think a lot about life, that make me ruminate and have even an internal discourse about my views on life and what it is that I hold precious and why I hold it precious, and having those things be interrogated to leave me at the end of it feeling either cleansed from my misaligned beliefs or stronger in the things that I believe. Absolutely love that. And I especially love authors that speak to the duality of being human, right? Whether they talk to the goodness of being a human being or they talk to the inescapable nature of being human. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, she does this so well in her trilogy, which is the Atlas 6, I think, the Atlas 6 trilogy, which I absolutely loved. She kind of reminds me in terms of that philosophical kind of thought-provoking type of Storytelling, she reminds me definitely of my fave V.E. Schwab. So if you are keen on stuff like that, I absolutely think that this is somebody you'll love. I absolutely love her work. She is definitely one of those authors who anything lands on my lap and I'm excited, because I'm pretty sure at the end of it I will have adjusted a way of thinking, or would have affirmed a way of thinking, if you hear what I'm trying to say. Anyway, from my understanding, this one is a collection of short stories. I am going to buddy read this with Charity this week, and I got my copy from Pan Macmillan, as you saw. Absolutely love that they saw this and they knew that I was the one. Anyway, I'm gonna read you the back of this because I understand it to be a collection of short stories. I just don't know too much about it, and it says stories of love, magic and betrayal. So I've been saying absolutely, but I also love how she weaves the fantasy, the magical, I want to even say maybe the supernatural, into her way of questioning your conscious. I don't know how else to say it, but I love that about her. Anyway, so the back of this reads, grant me a wish, I tell him, and I'll tell you the entire story. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, a wish-granting spirit rapidly approached burnout. Meanwhile, a banished fairy answers a Craigslist ad. A Victorian orphan navigates an occult situationship, and a multiverse assassin contemplates the one who got away. With iconic fan favorite stories and entirely original pieces, January's contains modified fairy tales, contemporary heists, absurdist poetry, and at least one set of actual wedding vows. This stunning collection of short fiction features 14 magical ruminations on life, death, and the love or desire for revenge that outlasts both. She's giving me what I want. She's giving me exactly what I signed up for, okay? The Cosmopolitan, guys, I'm tired, and I've been saying this to my kids the whole week. I'm tired and I have no idea why, and I've said this to you guys already, but at the same time I just can't seem to speak this week, so do forgive me. The Cosmopolitan says, sign me up for anything, she writes. They are me, I am them. I am Cosmo. Call me Cosmo. Daily Mail says, coolly horrific, brilliantly brainy, and utterly compelling. Say less. I need no convincing. Say less. So that's book one on my pile for this week. It's a big pile. But who are we if we're not ambitious? Would you guys even know me if my TBRs were not ambitious? I'm just asking. It's a question. I mean, I can tell you up front, I wouldn't know me if my TBRs were not ambitious. Who would I be? And I have no idea. Then we have this one, which is the girlfriend act that we got over on NetGalley. This is by Safar Ahmed, and it is a romance. That's as far as I know about this one. And as you guys know the story with NetGalley and my Kindle, I'm gonna keep saying my Kindle until I see somebody else going through this issue. The author is always, there's always something wrong with the author's name, and I never get the cover. It breaks my heart, to be quite honest. It really does break my heart, because if anything, I would like to see which book is on my library on my Kindle without me having to like do some backflips or remember that this book had this type of typography, therefore it must just show me the cover. Show me. Reading that off, what is this now? I'm definitely missing. She is missing. Oh, okay, found it. That of my Kindle. That's the only book I plan to pick up on the Kindle this week. Then the next book that I also got from NetGalley before I realized and remembered that I actually have it on my shelves, but I don't mind, is my second James Baldwin that I got from NetGalley, and that is Going to Meet the Man. I will be reading this off of here and possibly off the Kindle as well, but mainly probably on paper. And yeah, James Baldwin needs no introduction. I did open this book during the weekend. It's a children's book called The Legend of Mamlambo by Chelsea Bote, illustrated by Janika Cronier or Yannicka Cronier, and this one I got from Penguin. Absolutely love where the story is going. I might nibble on it a little bit more before I go to sleep today. I'm more than halfway through the book, and I cannot talk about the illustrations on this book enough. They are so good. It is definitely a spooky story. I should have read this last month, but we're here now, and any day is a good day to read, child. So that's the book that I've already got open, sorry, that I do plan to finish definitely very soon, early in this week. The Girlfriend Act I opened last night, Sunday night, and I am going to, when we get off the cam, this is the book that I plan to pick up. I'm loving reading from my Kindle once again, and you know what, I don't want to lose that momentum, so I'm trying to like make sure I lean in. It's the same thing that happened with my reading pace this year and just my reading habits. Something changed and I enjoyed it, and I was like, just lean in, and I did. And now look at me with more than 100 books over my no, it's not over my target. My target is 60 books, but I'm more than 100 books in for this year. Love it. So that's the book that I'll be reading now, and then I will definitely be reading from this before bedtime. The other book that I got recently from the library, I didn't show you guys me and my kids going to the library recently and how crazy they are about the library, so I will definitely put that up on here because I did capture it. It was the sweetest moment. The first time we went, they didn't have any library cards. I had the library card, and the library allows you to take out 4 books on the card, so I took 2 and they each had to take 1. Those people were reading those books before we left the library, okay, and they gobbled them up. My son, the book that he chose, my daughter, the book that she chose was a little bit lengthy, but she read, I kid you not, she read at least half of that book before. And I also think it's an attention thing, right? I think that the size of the book was not ideal for her, but she was stubborn. She wanted to read it, and in her reading it, she was definitely pulling the rest of us in because it got her that excited. So I loved to see that, so I ended up applying for cards for them as well, so that if I see more than 2 books that I want at the library, I can have the liberty to take those, and same goes for them. So then we went again because I hadn't gotten around to reading the books that I had taken, so I wanted to renew them. Even though you can renew your library books telephonically, I wanted to go because I wanted to return the books that they had taken before so that they can get other books. Did these kids not go wow, child? They made me so happy. We got in the car, they wanted no noise, no music, nothing. They just wanted to read their books. They don't know, but last week they really like touched my soul. I was very happy with what they did, and I love the fact that I can translate this love to them. And because they are growing kids, obviously it won't look exactly like what my love for the books looks like right now, but I love the fact that that seed has been sowed. It really does make me very happy. Anyway, at the library I got One Day by David Nichols. This one has been adopted into a series. I think the series came out this year on Netflix. I did watch 1 episode, like I said, of the series, and I decided that since it is a book, let me just check out the book first before I get lost in the series. I have started reading it, but I am listening to it more than reading it. You guys know what my pattern is by now. I have to have an audio that's gonna accompany me to drop-offs and pick-ups with the kids, and this is the chosen audio for the week, and I have about 6 or so hours left of this, so it's going quite well. I'm enjoying it. I'm in my feels about a few things already, so but I will be telling you about it very soon. And then I also want to pick up this book this week, which is Carrie Soto is Back. This one I got from Penguin Random House South Africa by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have read one of her books, which was last year, and the book that I read was The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I absolutely loved. So I want to see how this one pans out. I hope I do enjoy it. And then the next book that I plan to pick up, I had started but I lost my place in the book. This one is The Comrade's Wife by Barbara Boswell, which is a South African book, and I will definitely find out where I left off and then pick it up from there. But that's the next book that I plan to finish or read this week. And next to my bed, it's got no constraints, no time limits type of situation. It could be the whole month. I do have You Get Better with Love, This Is How You Love Yourself by Duduzile Nolin Ngwenya, which is a collection of poetry that I want to nibble for quite a bit, maybe even throughout December. I'm not trying to rush myself through this one, because when I did read you guys the synopsis of this, I did let you guys know that I absolutely love the idea of this, and if it is going to fulfill me in the manner in which I think it will nourish my soul, I do not want to have rushed through it. This one I did get from Pan Macmillan South Africa, and I plan to like bask in it, soak in it, let it teach me a thing or two. I didn't mention that I got The Comrade's Wife from Jacana Media here in South Africa. So those are the books that I've got on my TBR. Obviously, if you for the week, sorry, obviously if you have seen this, let me do these. Sorry, if you have seen my TBR for the month already, which you would have, because my vlogs are still delayed but not as bad as they were before, you would have already seen these books on that TBR. However, as I always say, I don't get through to all the books that I have on my TBR every month, so some of them end up chilling on my TBR shelf, which is in my room, and I do tend to pick up from them, I won't say every week, but from time to time, where I feel like, okay, now this book is really calling to me, I will pick it up. The intention is to definitely work through the books that I had chosen in the previous months, but I'm not going to force feed those books onto myself. So that's the end of that. Yeah, I think we're done here. Okay, I'm glad to have started this. I really was not going to, if I'm being honest with you guys. I'm still definitely in my feels, but what I realized this afternoon, or rather late morning, when I was chilling in this house alone, was I need to fight to get my mind to where it needs to be. So not every day is a day that you should fight, don't get me wrong, you know, but when you feel like you have that energy, you have the ability to fight, then you have to, and you have to weigh out your excuses for not doing certain things. And some days they will be valid, and they may be valid for days on end, but some days you just have to just break yourself out of that trap. And I know, as a person who does have their own mental health challenges, that's easier said than done, but I suppose what I'm trying to say is that whole concept that I was talking about earlier of leaning in, right? So when you feel like this is something that you're capable of, when that feeling overcomes you, just lean in and trust it, and do what you can. And when it retracts again, trust that as well, and just retract a little bit of that energy so that you don't overspend yourself. I don't know if, yeah, I hope that makes sense. But anyway, I'm a reach out, and then I am going to, I'm not cooking today. No ma'am, no sir. Well, let me not say I'm not cooking. I'm probably gonna make rice for the kids. I'm probably gonna just have a piece of chicken with some veggies, but like, it's not heavy cooking. I'm not making any protein. I'm not spending like minutes on end on the stove. No ma'am, no sir. That's what I mean by that. So I will be relaxing. I might tune something on the TV, because I don't want to just read, if you hear what I mean. But anyway, I am rambling now. Let me let you guys go and happy Monday. Oh, child. So hot, so hot, so hot. Hi fam. So it's Wednesday. Catching my breath. Just came back from picking up the kids. Today was a very heavy admin day. I had to go to the licensing department to renew my driver's license, and by the time I was done, because it's exams or whatever at my kids' school, they're coming out a bit early this week. So by the time I was done, it was time for me to pick them up. So I had a few minutes to kill. I decided to go treat myself to a waffle chow. Sorry, I had to get some water. I decided to go treat myself to a waffle. I don't treat myself as often as I'd like to. So when I saw that gap, I was like, you know what? Go get yourself a waffle and do a little bit of reading. So I did that, and I would like to do things of that nature more often, actually. I am about to, so yesterday was my last day of leave. I start a shift today at 4 o'clock. So I'm about to take a young nap, and then I will be ready to start my shift. Chances are high that you guys will not see me again. Yesterday I decided not to be on camera because, yeah, guys, I don't know how else to say this. I was on a call with a friend of mine yesterday evening, and I was just letting them know that, yes, it's been rough, as in like just on a mental level, it's just, and emotional, I suppose, just been rough, and I can't seem to shake myself out of it. So where you were getting used to having like a video, like a check-in every day, now they are few and far between. However, I will tell you, I did finish the Mamlambo book, the kids book, and I'm almost finished with One Day. I was sampling the Ayanda Klaba book today, so I probably will read it next week because I do want to kind of stick to my TBR as best I can. So I'm trying not to introduce new things. Today Charity and I decided we're gonna start January's, so I'll probably like listen to a story or two as I nap. I'm like, what's going on here? Okay, before I damage the book. Anyway, we got mail. Love me some Pan. So we've got mail from Pan. They sent these two. This one might be upside down. Yes, we got mail from Pan. So they sent these two. The first book that they sent me is they're just feeding my soul with this series. They sent me the song Bird and the Heart of Stone, which is a Crowds of Nyexia novel by Carissa Broadbent. This time around it's book 1 in the Shadowborn duet. Okay, so the previous two books that I did share with you guys were book 1 and 2 in the Nightborn duet. This is now the Shadowborn duet, and this is book 1. So I'm pretty sure that even though it's in the same world, I'm just like quickly browsing through this. We might stumble upon some of the characters that we found in the first duet, but I am almost certain, right, that these are totally brand new characters that we're gonna meet on here. And can we have a moment for the cover, child? These covers are covering, if you know what I mean. Okay, that's Carissa Broadbent. Looking forward to that one. I am going to open this one. I'm just trying to think in my head because, yeah, this leave, guys, I didn't do the things I wanted it to do. But I was also trying to get some admin like stuff in my head and out of my head and out of the way, if you get what I'm trying to say. So okay, before I open this one, I'm just trying to think what else I still have to do, because last week I did fix my tire, Today I did the driver's license. I know that early December I have to take my car in for service again. I think when it comes to like car admin, I'm on the right track. I would like to change my tires, all of my tires, and align the car and have a look at my brakes. But listen, every single time any word drops out of my mouth when it has to do with the car, it's money. So I have to just see how that one will pan out. But anyway, I think that's done. I have to focus on the kids, preparing for next year for the kids, so stationery, etc, etc. It never stops. I was just telling Charity yesterday that I don't want to be an adult. I don't want to be a grown-up. But anyway, the second book, things that make us happy, is none other than The Wild Robot by Peter Brown. I definitely want to go see this movie with my kids before we go back to the Eastern Cape for the holidays. So I'm looking forward to this one. This is The Wild Robot by Peter Brown. I think they have other books. I'm just double checking because there's The Wild Robot Escapes, The Wild Robot Protects. So I think there's 3 books if I'm not mistaken. I'm reading those from the back here. And this is from Pan, and a few, I want to say last month, so maybe a few weeks ago, they did do like a viewing for the actual movie, and I couldn't make it because I was working on that. I would have loved to go, but I think it will be a great experience to go there with the kids. It looks like this one has illustrations. I see color, but I also feel like, yes, there are the black and white ones as well. Oh, this is so precious. Oh, come on. This is very nice. And we have a little wild robot puzzle. It looks like this. This is something my son would definitely love to put together. So I will put this away, and they can do it together after they've watched the movie, because I feel like if I give it to them now, the sentiment will be lost altogether. So I needed to, yeah, I'll give it to them once they've watched the movie. I'm sure they're gonna have fun with this one. And obviously I'm gonna read the book, but by the looks of things, by the looks of things, this is a book that the kids should be able to, even if it's just to make out what the gist of the story is, they should be able to browse through it. But I really think that maybe they will only be able to fully read it next year. I'm saying this because unlike the other books that are quite lengthy kids books that they've had, this one is a bit more wordy than the others. So even though those ones have chapters and illustrations and stuff, you'll find that you can have a page like this that's actually in a bigger font, and then you'll have the next 2 pages will be image, so it's actually 1 page, if you hear what I'm trying to say. So this one is a little bit wordy for them, so I do think this is actually a middle grade, but we shall enjoy it anyway. So I want to dig into that one soon. These are the 2 books that I got from Pan. While I'm still sitting here, before I forget, you know, sometimes I really mean to say things to you guys and catch you guys up, né? And I'm like, oh, I'll tell them tomorrow, let me not like bombard the people, and then tomorrow forgotten. I don't understand anyone who does not like sparkling water, especially Valpray sparkling water. What? I don't get it. Anyway, so you might have seen that I haven't put up too much information, or rather too much content on the Diary of a Big Girl Gone slim. And don't worry, I'm not here for any excuses. I'm just here to let you guys know that I'm only gonna truly pick up pace next year. I'm sure any of you who do have weight target as well as have issues pertaining to mental health as well, you realize that when you are not in a good space, the kindness that you can offer yourself is to, yes, take care of yourself. I'm not saying go out there and live recklessly and consume each and everything that you come across, but it's to just lessen the pressure in some areas. So that's the area I've chosen to just lessen this year. Does that mean I've stopped going to the gym? No, child. Does that mean that I'm absolutely off the hinges? No, it doesn't. So far what I've been able to maintain is so far what I have been able to maintain is the intermittent fasting element of it, as well as at least one keto meal, and I'm happy with that. So you'll find that maybe in the evenings I'll eat exactly what the kids have eaten, and not for lack of not wanting to eat healthier. Trust me, I love healthy food. If there's one thing about me, if I had a chef chair, I would be half the size I am, because I love healthy food. The issue there is that, like, I'm going back to willpower and the state of my mind and my heart at the moment. I cannot cook 2 meals. I cannot even bring myself to meal prep. So I've decided to just lessen up the pressure on that end. So I will continue doing my intermittent fasting, going to the gym as often as I can, and picking up pace actually with the gym next week, and having that one keto meal a day. So I don't think that would constitute a proper sit down situation, but I am in the middle of shooting an update for you guys on the Diary of a Pretty Big Girl Gone Slim, and I will definitely obviously talk to this part of the journey. But just for now, in case this comes out before that, I just wanted you guys to know, should you see me doing things that contradict that on here, even though, like, show me one thing about 2 things, I'm not here for any of that. Like, I'm not here for any cops, food cops, fat cops, you know. I'm not here for that. So if you do see me on the streets eating what ikota, for example, that's between me and my convictions. But I do feel like, because I dragged you guys into the story, I do want to respect you guys enough to give you updates and where my mindset is at. So I don't want there to be like a disconnect when it came to that. So I think that my proper coming back fully will be in